guys, welcome to today's video. I'm really excited for this one, except I'm also very nervous because I am a mood reader through and through. There is literally never any rhyme, reason, or structure to the books that I read. I just read whatever I feel like reading that specific week. So although I'm really excited for this little, I don't know if you would call it a challenge, I feel like it's gonna be a challenge for me, just because I never pick ahead of time the books that I am going to be reading. I just don't do that. But even though this is new for me and a lot of it intimidating, I'm still a little bit excited to bring some structure into my reading life, even though I'm a little bit nervous because I know that with structure comes a little bit of loss of control for me. I'm still really excited to make this video. I will mention that we are going to be choosing the prompts from a bowl because I don't really have like a proper jar to put these prompts in, so I kind of just wrote them down and I tossed them in this cute little bowl. I probably have like between 10 and 15 prompts in here, but I'm only going to be picking 3 books because this is my first time doing this, and I usually read between like 4 to 6 books a month, so I want to give myself some grace just in case I don't like the books that I end up selecting for some reason. Obviously, I'm crossing my fingers that they're all really good books, but just as a safety backup plan, I want to give myself some grace to read books that I actually am in the mood to read that week, so that's why we're only going to be picking 3 books. Okay, let's get started. I am really excited to make this video. Okay, first prompt. I'm nervous. Oh no, what if it's what I don't want to do? A book that's part of a series, you can see. I don't have a TBR cart, so we're just going to be using like my entire bookshelf here behind me. I think one came to mind immediately. I'm currently in the middle of the Steelheart trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I just finished book 2 in the series recently, and I feel like this is just the perfect excuse to read the 3rd and final book in this trilogy, just so I can finish it off, mark it off of my list, because I am in the middle of so many book series, it's actually ridiculous. So maybe pulling this one first was actually a blessing in disguise, because one of my goals this year is to actually finish a lot of the book series that I'm already in the middle of, so this will just help me do that. If you don't know what this series is about, I'll give you a really brief explanation of it just so you can have it in your mind in case you want to read it also. This book series basically follows our main character David, who lives in a society that's divided in 2. On one side of that society you have the people with superpowers, they are called the epics, and then on the other side you have just your normal everyday humans who have no powers. Society is being run and controlled by the epics. They are all evil. They use their power for evil. The more they use their power, the more it corrupts their minds. And at a young age, David witnesses his father be murdered by like the kingpin of the epics, like the one controlling everything. So he makes a vow that day that one day he will watch Steelheart bleed. Steelheart is the epic that murdered his father. The story flashes forward in time and we get to see David as an adult. He joins a team of rebels to basically try and plot to take down Steelheart. That's the overall plot of it. I really like this book series so far, so I'm actually really excited to finally close it out and read the 3rd and final book in this trilogy. Brandon Sanderson's writing is truly just so good. If you're looking for a dystopian fantasy vibe book to read, I would say pick this one up. I don't think you'll regret it. It has romance in it, it has action, adventure, it has amazing world building, great writing, all of the things you would want. So yeah, that's the book I'm going to pick for this prompt. Alright, next up, and we're already 1/3 of the way through. Okay. A romance with pink on the cover. Okay, I'm excited for this. I put this prompt in here specifically because, believe it or not, I actually don't read romance books very often. I feel like I steer usually more towards fantasy books with romance in them as a subplot, but when it comes to just like contemporary romance or young adult romances, I actually don't pick them up as much as you would probably think I do, so I wanted to challenge myself a little bit to pick up one of those books. I do own a lot. They're on this section of my bookshelves, so let's pick one out. I'm immediately thinking of one book, but I don't know if it has pink on it. It's like a purpley. This is purple, but this background is a little pink. Okay, I've been wanting to read reread this. I'm gonna see if there's anything else that I have here. I could do a reread of You've Reached Sam. I love this book, so I could always do a reread of this, but I feel like that's not as fun. So I do have some other books just scattered throughout our apartment in different places, so I'm trying to think if I have any other books to look at. And I'm not thinking of any, so between these two, man, I love this book. I totally could reread this. No, let's do The Flat Chair. Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. I got this book like last summer or last fall or something. I've had it a little while and I just have not picked it up. I don't really know why. I think like I said, I just don't usually go for romances right away. I usually would pick a fantasy book over a romance like any day. So I think we need to change that up, and this is gonna be my second book to read in the month of April, which I'm actually excited for. I don't know if this is a YA romance or like a contemporary romance or what. I guess I'll find out when I read it. But the storyline is really cutesy. I think it basically follows two main characters, Tiffy and Leon. They share a 1-bedroom apartment, which actually works out perfectly for them because Leon works at night and Tiffy works during the day. So they kind of just have this constant like back and forth exchange. They're never at the apartment when the other is there. That's just how their schedules work out. So I don't even think they've actually met each other yet, and they're sharing an apartment, which is just a crazy concept. But as roommates, they start writing each other little notes. I think it's just like small things because they're not seeing each other on a day-to-day basis. They'll write little notes to each other just saying like, oh, the garbage day is this day, make sure you take the trash out, or like, oh, there's leftovers in the fridge, feel free to take it if you want, I don't mind. Kind of just like little things like that to communicate with each other. I don't know why they don't text each other. Maybe that's going to be explained. I actually hope that's going to be explained because I feel like that would really bother me if there was a much simpler way to communicate and they just weren't doing it for some reason. So I hope that's explained if that's like a problem in the book. But yeah, the main question literally at the top of the book is, what if your roommate was your soulmate? They become friends and then maybe more. So I'm guessing this is a friends to lovers kind of romance. I don't know, like I said, if it's clean or not. I personally like to read romances that don't have spice in them because I just don't like reading about that. It's just not for me. So I'm hoping that this book is a no spice book, or if it has spice, it's like very minimal. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to read this one. I've been wanting to read it for a while and I've had it on my shelf for a while, so this is giving me the perfect opportunity to dive into it. All right, I have my magic bowl here. Let's see what I get for my last and final book to read in April. I'm nervous. I hope it's gonna be a good one. Okay. A book that I've owned for over a year. I'm going to skip this one because I picked up The Flat Chair and I've owned this for over a year. So, wait. No, I haven't. If I got it last summer, it's only spring right now. Okay, so I will keep this one then. A book that I've owned for over a year. I don't know. I feel like I've owned a lot of these books for over a year, so this shouldn't be too hard. There's two books that I'm thinking of that I really was hoping I would get a prompt where I could pick one of these two books, but I have not owned either of these books for over a year, so I can't pick them, unfortunately. I could start a new series. Okay, guys, hear me out. I've been wanting to read, I have them, let me show you. I have the whole Vampire Diaries book series here on my shelves and I've been wanting to read them for a while. My husband and I are actually going through the show right now and it just makes me want to pick up these books so bad, but I've heard that these books are way worse than the series, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna pick these, but I have owned them for over a year, which is why I was thinking of it, but I'm not gonna pick them. I'm just not ready to jump in this series for the long haul yet. I mean, literally look how many books there are. I'm thinking of maybe picking a thriller. This is my thriller shelf, or like murder mysteries, because I've owned a lot of these for many years. But I've also owned some classics. No, I don't want to read a classic right now. I'm definitely not in the mood for that. I have a few Stephen King books on here, but here's the thing with Stephen King. Stephen King genuinely scares me. There's this one. I've owned this for a long time and I've kind of wanted to read it, but every time I think of it, I'm like, is this corny? This one is called The Island by Natasha Preston. Jagged Island, a private amusement park for the very rich or the very influential. Liam, James, Willa, Ava, Harper, and Paisley are social media influencers with millions of followers. They've been invited for an exclusive weekend before the park opens. They'll create posts and videos for their channels and report every second of their VIP treatment. When the teens arrive, they're stunned. The resort is even better than they imagined, imagined. Their hotel rooms are unreal, the park's themed rides are incredible, and the island is hauntingly beautiful. Their jam-packed schedule seems to cover every moment of their visit, but soon they realize that something's missing. Getting off the island alive. Part of me wants to read this book. The other part of me, when I think about the main characters being like influencers and just like TikTok and Instagram stars, I literally in my head, I imagine the Hype House, and I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to read about that. Okay guys, this is totally out of left field. This is not a thriller. I have owned this book for well over a year, and I have been wanting to read it for a really long time. I don't know why I've actually just like procrastinated picking this one up for so long, but I might pick this one because none of the thrillers that I was looking at were jumping out at me, and this one is jumping out at me. I'm gonna read the description of it just to remind myself of what it is, but I believe this book follows three sisters who are all estranged from each other, but now they're coming back together for a reunion because their fourth sister passed away very suddenly. So they're all coming back together, and they kind of just have to navigate all of the problems that I guess ripped them apart. Okay, yeah, I just read the description. It's basically what I said, except I probably said it in just like a really rushed version of the description. But yeah, it says that their fourth sister, Nikki, dies very unexpectedly, and a year later they each have to navigate grief, addiction, and ambition as they return to New York to stop the sale of the apartment that they were born in. So that's kind of fun. That's a good twist. This sounds really good, actually. Like I said, I don't know why it's taken me so long to read this book, but I think I'm going to pick this one because I have definitely owned this for over a year. I've probably owned this for like 2.5 years, to be honest. But yeah, this one sounds really good to me, so I'm going to pick this one for my third and final book in April, and I'm actually really happy. I'm actually really surprised. I thought I was going to end up picking like books that I did not want to read, and that's why I was just really like nervous to do this little video. But like I said, I like the books that I picked out. I don't have the third book in the Steelheart series physically. I actually have it on my Kindle, so I'll probably be reading it there. I can't believe that I didn't get a prompt that I didn't like. I have a few in here that I was like praying I would not pick up because I just did not want to read that kind of book. But everything turned out really well. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, incredible day. Bye!